Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
Celebrating 10 years of award-winning car talk, it's the In Wheel Time Car Show. Today coming to you from the 3rd Annual Woody's Waterfront Car Show down here in San Leon, Texas.
Leon Spinks.
We'll talk to a few of the participants in today's judged car show about their rides. Mr. Mars gives us some insight into Smokey Yunick's 67 Chevelle. Plus, we'll have today's news headlines. All that just ahead on today's live In Wheel Time Car Show from the Top Water Grill in San Leon, Texas.
Perfect. We're okay. We're going to stop correcting you on that.
No, I'm not correct.
Because everybody says it's San Leon. It's not spelled that way.
Leon.
We're down here on the coast, put it that way.
Well, we are. We're actually on the bay. There's the Texas City Dike. She's right over there.
Oh,
yeah.
my.
Just wanted to bring that
She was a welder
up.
at Brown and Root, wasn't she?
What?
She was a welder at Brown and Root.
Need to move that microphone a little bit closer there.
Sorry.
No,
I was popping earlier, and I didn't want to.
Right now you're just buzzing.
Now I'm buzzing.
Yeah.
Buzzing and popping.
We have some of the finest equipment known to man here. And
Somewhere.
So,
It's all back at the studio.
That's right. It's not here.
I like these chairs. These
Do
are
you?
nice.
I know. I was reclining in it earlier.
It's easy to do.
So, Bernie Roeder, is it?
Correct,
How do you spell your last name?
R-O-E-D-E-R.
Okay.
It's
All
like it sounds.
Roeder. Well, I know, but the
R-O-E-D-E-R.
It's German.
Yeah, so I put a T over here, R-O-T-O-R, but it works for me. So I guess that's really all that matters, right? Well, Bernie, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today. You pulled in an interesting car. Tell us about that.
It's a 1969, well, like you said, VW. It's one of the original, what you call a Brubaker box. Curtis Brubaker is the original designer and builder of these cars, and he built probably about 3 of these, which 2 was used for demos. And he was trying to market these through the Volkswagen dealership to sell them as new cars and on new Volkswagen chassis. But he had one more car he built, and he kind of modified that for a TV set called the Arc. And so he had this thing in his show, but like I said, the deal with the money he invested in these 2 cars, the deal with Volkswagen fell through. So he goes bankrupt. And when he went bankrupt, one of his he was also owner of what you call Brubaker Industries, and one of his board members is a guy named Mike Hansen. Bought the molds and the rights and the patents and everything to make these cars again, and under the name of Automotive Industries. So when I got involved with this is in probably 1972 or actually 73. I just got out of the military, and I saw the picture of this car on Car and Driver magazine. I said, "Wow, that's a car I need to get. This has got to be the baddest 70s van out there, because nobody's got one." So
I've never seen one.
You won't. There was like 28 during the time frame Automago owned it. They built probably about 28 of these cars from up to about 1978 before Automago went bankrupt. So as of today, we know that there's only 28 cars were sold, and there's probably in existence only 20 of these cars.
I would have thought 12.
Yeah, well, they somehow they come up with 12. I mean, not 12, but 20.
Yep.
I'm the only one in that 20 that's original owner of one.
Oh,
okay?
wow.
So I bought this thing from day one in 1974, so I've had it all these years.
Yeah,
so
well, you've done a lot of work to it, though, since then.
3 restorations, yeah. This was the 3rd time around on this one, so, yeah.
It is so cool and so unique and so different. I mean, it smacks of a late 60s television show.
Yeah.
With surfboards and everything.
The surfer car.
Well, that's what it was designed for.
Is that what it?
Yeah, that's what Curtis Brubaker had in mind, because he was hanging out in California out there, and he noticed a lot of especially like you see a wooden bumper on the front of the thing. People
That's made from wood.
That's exactly right.
Well,
and the reason why he did that is because he wanted to appeal to all the surfers. So they would just stick their boards back here and head down to the beach.
Well, plus back then there was no bumper regulations, so making it out of wood was simple. It was
and there wasn't there was a TV show of a large dealer in California. They found one and rebuilt it about a year ago or so.
Yeah, that was what's his name?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Galvin.
Galvin.
Galpin, G-A-L-P-I-N.
And that was Jeff Dunham's car.
Jeff Dunham, I was just about to say, because he owns that car now.
Right, yeah. That thing had a Carvera motor in there.
Yep.
And if you look at the restoration, and I've seen pictures of this a long time ago, this thing is kind of like was red and tan, and when they were doing this show, I was talking with Curtis Brubaker about this, and he was just like blown away. It's like, who would do that to that car?
Is Brubaker still alive?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He is.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Oh yeah. He's still doing. He's still working.
He helped locate a few of them,
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, he helped those guys. I mean, there's another company in California called Driven Company, and you know, I was telling you, there's 2 cars he made, 2 prototypes. One of these cars they found out in a swamp in Florida.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be the #1 car he built.
Oh, wow.
Because if anybody would know what that car is about, he spent a lot of time and money building that car. So he knew every inch of this thing. And so when he saw the car, immediately he says, "Hello,
He knew
my old
which
friend."
one it was.
Yeah, he knew it was that. So these guys have got that, and so they're going to try to restore that, put it back to. I'm hoping they do that, but anyway. But like I said, it's those guys, Car Kings, they were called.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting, but I just don't. For the money he put in a Carvera motor, I would put.
But
for
nevertheless,
Volkswagen.
that show that they had was very interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
it captured my attention, and I watched it.
The Brubaker box has also been on Jay Leno.
Yes.
Because I remember seeing it on
Probably.
Jay Leno's garage one
Yep.
time.
Probably.
And it may have been Dunham's car, because Leno and Dunham are big
Yeah,
buds
I
anyhow. It
think
may have
so.
been Dunham's
Depending
car.
on what
you're
color
right.
what color it was, you know.
It was yours.
Yeah, it was,
It
it was
was
a
brown
burgundy,
one?
burgundy
Oh,
color,
yeah.
brown
Okay.
burgundy color,
It could-
kind of a dark.
because that's the one that Jeff Dunham had. It was kind of red, with like it's right now. It's brown with a black vinyl top. That thing was tan with a red vinyl top.
Well, but
You shake your head no.
but for people, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
they've heard you mention minivan. This is not a minivan.
Yeah.
This is
surfer
it's very
van.
low.
Yeah.
Very to me kind of wide for what it is. So it really is a super custom George Barris looking type of a vehicle, and a very unusual. How many of them are in? Yours is probably the only one in Texas.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, there's like I said, there's 20 of them existing, and it's probably that we know of. That probably only about 5 of them. Some people actually drive around, but this is not just in the United States. This is in the world, because there's not a whole lot of
And
those.
do you know where all those 20 are? Do you guys all communicate somehow?
Yeah, there's a Facebook page called Brubaker Box Fan. The girl who started this page, actually, that was her dad that owned the company Automega. So he passed away a couple years ago. Mike Hansen did. So anyway, she runs this page, and then it's kind of like a lot of the owners and a lot of input goes into this thing. So you can see a lot of history in there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Brubaker, wasn't he in aerospace?
Yeah.
He was an aerospace engineer,
Right, yeah.
and got a wild hair and said, "I'm going to build a cool
Yeah.
surfer dude van."
Concept.
You know, I keep going back to the Myers Manx because it's built on the Volkswagen chassis.
Right.
And I'm wondering if there was some sort of an inspiration or something with that kind of triggered this van, the box.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all I can think of because, Mr. Meyer himself designed that car to go on the Volkswagen chassis.
Exactly.
And that's all I can think with this because it was so universal and so easy to do.
Right.
Okay, let's put a body on it.
Right.
And so does it have a Volkswagen drivetrain in it?
Correct. Yeah.
All of it.
It's a 69. And the only thing it's modified is the pedal assembly for your clutch. And that's moved up and forward about 8 inches. And then that's all because, the seats go forward about that same amount because what they've done, instead on a Volkswagen, the gas tank being in front, it's in the middle of the car. And that probably this is the only show car you see out here is going to have an ottoman for a back seat back here. And it's underneath that ottoman. It's the gas tank.
It's got kind of like a curved couch in it,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no disco ball, none of that stuff.
yeah.
That went out with the 70s.
And
Shag
then
carpet.
the dash, the dash, if I remember correct, I'll call it hollow.
Yeah.
Because that was where your storage was
Yeah.
kind of under the dash. If you had stuff to carry with it, you'd kind of push it up under the dash.
I think I might be saying this wrong, but he called it his window trunk.
Window trunk. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he called it. But anyway, it's just that it's.
If you've not taken a close-up look at this, you got to go take
I will.
a close-up. It is.
I want to go sit in it.
A totally cool vehicle, and like I said, I've seen it in Nifty 50s a number of times,
Yeah.
and every time it's there, I go stare at it because it's just such a cool-looking vehicle.
And it's the same results. I mean, like I said, I've had this thing for 46 years. So the day one I built this thing and used to cruise around it, and the car Autorama show in the 80s. man, the response has never changed on this thing. It never changes. And even today, I don't care how young you are or how old you are, people are like, wow, what is that?
But you know, it also resonates with our age group.
Yeah.
You realize that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, tremendously.
Yeah.
And it did back then, because it was one of those that probably, I would guess, that it showed up on Hot Rod and Carcraft magazine
It
car
was on the
covers.
cover of
when it first-
Carcraft, wasn't it?
Motor Trend.
Motor
Trend.
No, excuse me, Car and Driver.
Car and Driver, yeah.
I've got the picture.
I remember it being a cover car on one of them, and I was
March of '72.
Wow.
You see, yes, exactly. It's just one of those kind of things that it just smacks of being on the cover of a car magazine.
Yeah, kind of like when I first saw that picture. Is this what I put this post out there on Facebook on the Brubaker Box This? So, okay, what triggered you into buying this car? You know, what triggers you? And that's the first thing I saw was this picture on that Car and Driver magazine. Yeah, that was it, man. And then it's like I said, you've been hooked ever since. So I've had some connections with Curtis and then offers to buy it, things like that. But you know what? It's hard to replace something that you've owned all your life.
You can't do that.
And you have to have something better than that.
Well, no.
But you don't. But there's nothing better.
But you also put miles on it. This isn't just a trailer queen for you. You drive it around.
Yeah. Well, like I said, from '86 was this third restoration was in the early '80s, and then so it sat up from 1986 to 2017. And when I retired, that's when that was on my bucket list to go through this whole thing. So. Right now, this car's only got about 1,500 miles on it. Everything's new. The engine, all the drivetrain, we went through everything. New brakes, just wiring, everything. New paint.
Yeah, but it's all of that's Volkswagen pure.
Right.
So
right.
it's very easy to find parts for.
Absolutely.
And in my opinion, relatively simple to work on. It's not an overly complicated car.
Right.
But it's got a cool looking body on it.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, it's just something different that nobody else has got to go riding around in. And trust me, all the years we used to go cruising in that thing off of Westheimer and stuff like that. I wouldn't believe all the, just the attention you get just going down the road.
Back then it was a chick magnet.
Well,
he's married.
Yeah,
you can't say.
No, back then. Back then.
It could have been. Yeah. Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah. Okay, I'll go along with that. There's one time.
And as you explained,
there's no videos.
Yeah, really. Well, actually, there is.
There is now.
But as you explained Brubaker Box to a lot of
Yeah.
new people, do they recall it at all, or is it still kind of a
No.
a new concept?
Us guys out here, we go back and on the cars and stuff like that. A lot of those people kind of remember that when it came out. Very few people know what that car's all about.
Or that it has a name, or that it was built by such and such.
Yeah, today's people, no, they don't. But they're fascinated by it. I mean, they're just intrigued by this whole car and the whole setup of it. And when you tell them,
And then when you open the door, they
it's
look
like
at
a
the couch
Volkswagen.
and
Yeah. Oh, that's cool back there.
the curved couch.
Yeah,
that is really cool.
Got his bag of candy in there.
Hey, that's coming up Halloween. Hey, you gonna be at the Nifty 50s, right?
Probably.
Yeah, we're gonna be there. That's Halloween night. That's where all the candy goes.
Trunk or
That's
treat.
Right. That's
right.
it.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
It's a great event. So, are you going to show it again at Autorama? I know you haven't been there in a while.
Yeah, it's been quite some time. We just came off of a show up there in Tomball. It was the Groove Fest.
Groove Fest.
Yeah, this is all VW show. So there you go. I mean, it's just all these 21 window vans.
Nice.
It's just nice music out, 3 live bands out there. It was just a nice.
We
turnout.
weren't invited to go, and I didn't know anything about it.
No.
Okay,
But now you're going to put us on the list.
But
your
Brubaker still draws attention in that kind of a Volkswagen fanatical meeting
Absolutely.
because they know what it is.
Absolutely.
And come to look at it, and because probably a lot of people have never seen one in. I would say majority.
I've never seen one in person.
Seen one in person.
No, I never have.
I want to go. I want to go look at it.
You never have seen these down here in Texas. Like I said, I've had these all these years, and I've never seen anybody down.
So,
here
what
with
does the wife think about your car?
them. She had her hands in it.
magnet.
She had her. No, I had that before. I better. No, she got her hands in this last restoration and this thing. Yeah, we both got in there. And
How fun! That's cool.
Yeah, it was just like I said. We have to get. I had to change out the chassis, take out the gas tank, and just do. We just had to elevate everything and just. So she was there to help, and just like I said, just crawling in there and just working the floor jack and all
Now,
that stuff.
have you been married long enough for her to have seen this thing from the very beginning?
No.
No?
So what engine's in it? Because Volkswagens, you can go from a 1.1 to
It's a 1641, and the only thing it's got there used to be a couple called Bug Pack out there, or is it Scat Pack? But anyway, it's got a camshaft. It's like an Engel 110 camshaft with the dual carbs on it, and it all came together as a kit back in those days. So it used to be a 1600. We just put some bigger heads on there and shimmed it out. And because you kind of keep it dependable to drive, because you start getting these things jacking up their performance, they become more and more unreliable. So it's basically a 1641. It's a good cruiser. It gets me to A and B. I don't break any sound barriers.
No air conditioning.
Oh, hell no.
The window's open.
Does it have a radio in it?
Yeah, it does have that.
An AM radio.
You got to have some tunes.
Yeah.
I have tunes. But yeah, there's like my wife said, she said, doesn't this thing come automatic? I said, no. So like at the Nifty 50, people says, so what is that thing in the middle? I said, that's my and I'm pointing at the stick shift down here. That's my anti-theft device. He said, what is that? He says, a stick shift.
What is that?
Clutch in it.
What is that? I said, it's where you have to shift. He said, really?
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about that.
So the tunes back in '72 would probably be a Blaupunk.
Yeah.
A Blaupunkt. I had a Blaupunkt, actually. Yes, I did.
I'm thinking that.
Polk,
He said 72. Yeah. That's
yeah.
probably what it had.
Actually, they still make Blaupunkt.
know.
Yeah, my personalized tags on that thing back in those days was called Slow Ride
That works.
by Foghat.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, that was a
tune.
cruising music.
Did you grow up here in Houston?
Oh, yeah.
Where'd you go to high school?
Reagan. Well,
Reagan.
they call it Heights High School, but no, it's Reagan High School.
Reagan, yeah,
It'll always be Reagan to me.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, I grew up here in the Heights and stuff like that.
I did a car clinic a few years ago at Reagan.
Yeah, that's the good old memories there. This is before, like I said, it wasn't until I got out of service that I got involved in it. And back in the 70s, there was all kind of custom vans out there.
Yes, there were.
And they were bukus of kit cars for these Volkswagens.
Oh,
Everything.
yeah.
MG, Lamborghinis, Ferraris.
I remember.
The bolt-on bodies.
Yeah, and there was even a Willis Coupe I've seen, and I mean, just all kind of stuff out there. And so this was in that era where you can have a champagne taste on a beer budget.
Yep.
But after all these years, there's a lot more money in that than the beer budget could allow.
Yeah, thank God it's only a 4-cylinder. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's chrome.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's great to talk to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And what a very, very cool car.
Thank you. So
Thank
we're
you
going to
very
come
much.
down and visit you after the show's
absolutely.
over.
Don't
No
leave.
problem. No, I'm not going anywhere. So
All right.
I'm here.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bernie Roeder.
Brubaker Box.
Yeah, the 69 VW Brubaker Box. Be looking
Sweet.
for it at a show near you. All right. If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address is info@inwheeltime.com. Time now for the events calendar. Conrad has that.
So, again, Nifty 50s, Saturday nights up at Grogan's Mill. Kema Car Meet tonight at 6 p.m. In Kema. Also at 5 p.m. tonight is a Northside Park and Chill at 11207 West Hardy Road.
A Northside Park and Chill.
Park and chill.
I like that. Okay.
Do you bring your own chill?
This weekend is Good Guys Lone Star Nationals up at the Fort Worth NASCAR track, and that's Friday through Sunday. Tomorrow, Car Culture Limitless for September 21, and that's going to be at the Pearland Town Center. And then if you're on the north side, the Muscle Car Meet at Kroger's on 99 East of 45. And then, again, the Audi Club Nationals in Austin, Texas. It will bring the New Caney High School Auto Tech Show fundraiser, and that's going to be on October 9th at the New Caney High School parking lot. It's a $15 entry fee, and that's from our friend Jonathan Couch.
That's been this is from the postponement.
No, was this one postponed?
I think it was.
October 9th. And all the fundraising goes to the Auto Tech program there at New Caney High School.
Nice.
Really recommend people support that. And then, of course, Trunk or Treat will be at Nifty 50s the Halloween weekend.
Yeah. Did you see the whatever that is, a 34. It's
Yeah.
it's
That's
a hot
rumbling
rod.
in.
Well, there's
Yes,
a lot of
we-
people here, and it's kind of hard to see through the folks that are out there.
through the crowd.
Well, that's
Through
okay.
the crowd.
Good.
All right.
turnout.
Well, Mr. Mars doesn't have a new car review, but he's got a great story today
Good
on
story.
Smokey Yunick's 67 Chevelle, and I was curious to find out about. I'm a Smokey Yunick kind of a fan, if you want to call it
And
that.
he always pushed the rules.
Always, and,
Yeah.
with his pipe and his weird hat that he had.
Yep.
And, great tuner back in the day, and so tell us about the '67 Chevelle.
Well, first thing, let me tell you, it was a typo. It happened in 1967, but it was with a 66 Chevelle. My bad. I mistyped it.
We're done. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, moving on. Time on. So what the car was, it was a 66 Chevelle, and it came out of the factory, and it was sent down to his shop. And one of the things it had was a 427 big block, but it was de-stroked down to a 416, so it would rev higher and rev faster. They put some heat shields on out over the headers to keep the heat deflected off of it, so the heat didn't get up around the carburetor, so it didn't suck any
Now
hot air.
this is a NASCAR.
This is a NASCAR. And the front bumper was actually altered and recessed a little bit back into the body.
Chasing aerodynamics.
Chasing aerodynamics.
Coefficient.
Had the underneath of the car was smooth. They smoothed out the entire underneath the car. Had a custom-built frame, pretty much like they do these days. Everybody else was running a Ford-type frame that was considered the safest at the time. No matter what body style you had, you were supposed to be running that. He custom-built his. A lot of stories out there about how it would hold an extra 5 gallons of fuel. Some people say it didn't. Some people say it did.
Well, the story was
Yeah.
NASCAR took the fuel tank out of it and he drove it back to his garage.
Well, it was supposed to be empty whenever he ran it through tech, and he did drive it back to his garage. The other story was, and somebody wrote one article and said, I saw it, I was standing there. He drove it back to his shop on the street because he was so mad because they told him he was disqualified for all these other things. Had a little lip on the top of the body. In fact, at one time, you know how NASCAR will take a template? And
Yep.
so they took the template and they said, it doesn't match. He said, oh, yes, it does. So they went out into the parking lot and found another 1966 Chevelle, put it on there, and sure enough, it fit on his personal 1966
That also
Chevelle.
had the little wing on the back.
Exactly, yeah. It was his. Both cars were his, so they both matched.
Now the
so
fuel. Let's get back to the fuel. Didn't he have larger
Fuel lines.
diameter, and he also wrapped them like a snake through the vehicle so that they would.
Well,
hold
that
it.
was, again, to hold more fuel.
Yeah.
So he had all this stuff, and but so a lot of things, like we talked about last time, a lot of things that he got disqualified for back then
Would have
are
got you
okay
kicked
now.
out of NASCAR now.
Well, but no, some of them are legal now because they do run their custom frames instead of.
Oh, okay,
Because he actually had a letter after this event. They actually sent him a letter here that tells that he has to change to the Ford frame and a couple of other things. The front bumper's got to move back out an inch to where it goes to its original location. The tires and wheels have to move an inch because they got to be back in their original location because he moved the shocks and everything out closer. He did a lot of things. If it didn't say he couldn't, he assumed he could. And there was a
wasn't
problem with
also
that.
the rumor that this car was actually like a 7/8 size?
That was when they
it
put the-
wasn't 100%.
Right.
Well,
I heard that.
It
too.
was like 7/8 size, so it cut through the air better.
That's when they put it on the template. And again, they
his
took-
car was exactly
and
the
it was
same.
his car was exactly the
Smart
same, so
guy.
it matched.
I'm not cheating. Go measure the other car out in the
So-
garage I cheated with.
So when they disqualified him, it disqualified his car. That's when he drove it back to the shop that was right there by the track. And he was really mad, hollering apparently a lot of obscenities and things as he left at the track.
Not back then.
So one of the guys from the sanctioning body, like Beard, I think was his name, went over there to talk to him about it, and he threw a hammer at him. So he
Ooh.
left. And then supposedly the other story I found was he sent him a check for $1,500 to cover his expenses since he got disqualified and couldn't race and try and win his money back. Supposedly Smokey took the check and went into the bathroom and soiled it and sent it back to him.
Nice guy.
Soiled
That's just another story about how it
Soiled it.
went. So anyway, that was
But
a lot of
Smokey,
action.
Smokey was a wild card
And that was his last race with them.
with NASCAR.
Yes. So that's how he got disqualified.
Another banned race car.
And today he's a
Yes.
politician.
Yes, he is.
And
Unfortunately.
still soiling checks.
Yes, he is.
Government checks.
Soiling checks. Would you explain that to me?
It's a new breakfast cereal, Don.
Soiling checks.
Soil to checks.
Chocolate soiling checks.
Anyhow,
chocolate mix.
let's wander off to something else here.
With marshmallows.
I didn't bring it up. I just was questioning. I've never heard the term before.
Well, he was hauling
I
donkey.
didn't either, but it. Yeah.
He was hauling
He
donkey.
was hauling donkey through it.
God. Well, while we're on the subject of that sort of stuff, the Biden administration
Soiling everything.
is considering invoking a Cold War era national security law to force companies in the semiconductor supply chain to provide information on inventory and sales of chips, according to Gina Raimondo, the Commerce Secretary. The goal, according to her, is to alleviate bottlenecks that have idled U.S. car production and caused shortages of consumer electronics, and to identify possible hoarding.
No, it's just further intrusion into our freedoms.
The request is voluntary, but Raimondo said she warned industry representatives that she might invoke the Defense Production Act or other tools to force their hands if they don't respond. You know, my take is on exactly.
Nazis.
Screw you. That's what I got to say. I'm not telling you anything because I don't have to.
I don't trust you.
No. What are you going to do with the information? And how is that going to change anything?
Not a
It's
thing.
not. Do you not think that car companies want to build cars and sell cars?
Yep.
Yes, they do. So leave them alone and let them do their business and stay out of it. Butt out.
Yankee Doodle.
Yeah. America.
I feel better now.
There you go. Tell us how you read.
Need my red Solo cup. I'm sorry. I'm Toby Keithing again.
I want to tell everybody that the
smell
In Wheel
funny.
Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, InWheelTime.com, and now Twitter. Podcasts are available from your favorite podcast provider. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Let me tell you about a locally owned and operated group of dealerships called Bayway. Bayway owner Daryl Wisniewski is born and raised right here, and he knows Houstonians better than anyone. Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, Bayway Lincoln, and Bayway Chevrolet are managed by Lincoln Stahl. And when you get to know these guys, you'll want to become part of the Bayway family too. Feel good that you're part of Houstonian-owned Bayway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.com, BaywayChevrolet.com, and BaywayLincoln.com. Remember the name, Bayway. Tailpipes and Tacos, Houston's premier monthly car cruise-in, returns Saturday morning, October 16th to the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex in Katy. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and you're invited. Collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods will all be on display. Lupi founder, car collector, and drag racer Stan Holt brings you the coolest Saturday morning cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos. Car show season's just around the corner and time to stretch your car's legs in a fun family event. There'll be plenty of fabulous, fresh, made-to-order Lupi tortilla tacos, hot coffee, and adult beverages, too. This is Houston's coolest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Tex-Mex on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard just south of I-10, and on the Southwest Freeway in Kirby inside the Loop. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, October 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. We'll see you then, weather permitting. Gulf Coast Auto Shield has moved to a more convenient location. Now you can visit John Gray and his staff of dedicated professionals at their new shop on the South Sam Houston Parkway between Belford and Airport in Southwest Houston. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is the best at paint correction and ceramic coatings. Clear bras and custom wraps are specialties that only Gulf Coast Auto Shield installs with award-winning accuracy, and all their services come with a warranty. Lamborghini, Aston Martin, Porsche, and Ferrari owners depend on Gulf Coast Auto Shield for their specialty services, and you should too. The In Wheel Time Corvette and Cutlass have both been massaged by Gulf Coast Auto Shield, so isn't it time your vehicle visit their new shop in Southwest Houston? Call John Gray today at 832-930-5655 or visit online at gcautoshield.com. That's gcautoshield.com. Paint, coatings, wraps, and more at gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.